Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. I appreciate everything, and believe me, I am just extremely, just very, very appreciative knowing that this could be, you could be spending on anything, but if you choose to support my voice, I'm greatly appreciative. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. Ladies and gentlemen. What will it take, ladies and gentlemen, for people to realize, what will it take, what more has to happen, I should say? What more has to happen for people to realize that they're not going with Joe Biden? So does he have to take off clothing and run down the street? Does he have to run down Pennsylvania Avenue without any clothing, singing a Backstreet Boys song? Hey, nothing but a heartache, tell me why. Hey, come on now, running for Senate. Come on, people, now, smell on your brother. Come on, you know the deal, man. You know the deal. Come on now. What has to happen? I want to know what has to happen. They already cheated in 2016. Read the DNC emails. Russia didn't write them. I have no clue why people have to believe that this is a thing. There is no such thing as the Democratic primary. Here's a newsflash. Before we get into Biden denying the latest allegations, when he stated the initial reaction should be believe 100%, never deny. Except Democrats ruin everything they touch. Democrats, whatever, I just pray they don't adopt cancer research or anything. Anything Democrats touch, any movement, any cause, is completely run into the ground. Same with Bernie Sanders. His campaign, the social media pundits, or the pundits that took over his campaign are the same people he can't even endorse. So that should tell you. But anything the left touches, it's like the reverse Midas touch. It turns into what you would use for the wonderful toilet paper that's now being bartered for gold. But I just want to know, at what point? Let's just start off here. Let's start off with this premise, okay? What point? Where does it go from here? Where does it go from here? What more needs to happen? What more needs to happen? They're not going to go with Cuomo. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Here. Majority of New Yorkers do not want Cuomo to run for fourth term. The Hill. Cuomo's approval rating drops to lowest point in 8 years as governor. New York Times. Poll. New York voters give Andrew Cuomo lowest approval rating. Syracuse.com. They don't want Andrew Cuomo. Now, this was a couple months back. But you better believe that they were looking for someone. See, President Trump, this was his time to show the United States that he could navigate us through a real crisis. Florida man. Hey, fat. Come on now, people now. Come on, fat. Smell on your brother, fat. Florida man bear, thank you. I hope you're doing well. I believe Florida is not shut down economically. I'm not, from what I understand, California is. You're lucky, Florida man bear. You are lucky. Enjoy. If you can go to a restaurant tonight. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, but if you can go to a restaurant tonight, God bless you. I would love to go to enjoy a restaurant right now. I'd love to, but I don't live in a free state. So there you go. Florida man bear, thank you very much. Hey, fat. Hey, fat. Come on now. Come on, people now. Florida man bear, thank you. Andrew Cuomo, Florida Man Bear, everybody. Before this, his poll numbers were abysmal, and he had stated, he's on record as stating America was never great. You can't run for president if you've stated America was never great. It doesn't work that way. You cannot run for president. So people are actually saying, there are people out there that are saying Andrew Cuomo did not win 65 million votes. Hillary Clinton did. Cuomo does not even run has no influence within the Democratic Party. He's just a governor. His father was senator. So, or governor himself. Hold on, Mario Cuomo, governor. So, Mario Cuomo was a great governor of New York. So, he's not going to become Democratic nominee. But here's a question for you. If people are now saying that Andrew Cuomo can become Democratic nominee, did Andrew Cuomo run in Iowa, in New Hampshire, in South Carolina, Super Tuesday, in Florida, Illinois, and Arizona, all the states that had their primaries during the height of all of this, which should tell you the duplicity of Democrats? Bucolic Buffalo! The Smoky Mountains look great here tonight in Louisiana. By Nimers. Bucolic Buffalo. I was like, what? You threw me for a loop for a second. Nice. Bucolic Buffalo. Hey, I'm ready for Senator. Come on now, people. Now smell on your brother. Smell on your brother. Everybody huddle together very close. Very, very close. Within less than 1 foot. Try to love one another right now. Come on now. Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you. Florida Man Bear. Thank you. Bucolic Buffalo. Thank you. Thank you. So, did Andrew Cuomo, did he have any state deadlines to worry about? Why are people talking about Andrew Cuomo? Okay, this is how they work. They push the envelope. They push the envelope of what's possible. They push the envelope of what's possible. Well, Madam Secretary doesn't want to run, but she can run if she wants to, but she doesn't want to run. But don't you know? But why John Kerry? Look, in March of 2019, Maggie Haberman. Here's the New York Times. I don't usually go through all the litany, but here, Maggie Haberman, Clinton running tweet. Okay, here. This is the day after when Clinton said, when the Chappaqua cable station, okay? This is like public access, basically. Remember the old public access stations? Okay, the public access channel. The public access channel in Chappaqua, the same channel that she hooked up, she logged on to the internet to get top secret intel on her cell phone, or classified data on her cell phone. When they did their hilarious segment, for the first time ever, Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton says she's not running, she's not running for the first time ever, and then they didn't actually get her to say that. They panned over her voice, so you hear her saying like that, and then the narrator was like, for the first time ever, Clinton has confirmed without a shadow of a doubt, confirmed without a shadow of a doubt, that she will not run, she was not going to run. And so then the next day, Maggie Haberman spoke to some, this is March 5th, 2019, almost a year ago, March 5th, 2019. Spoke to someone close with Clinton in contact with her today. They say she wasn't trying to be emphatic and close the door on running when she spoke to a local reporter yesterday, and that she was surprised. Get this. She was surprised by how definitively it played out. The person also says she is extremely unlikely to run. Unlikely does not mean will not. In Clinton world, unlikely. Unlikely, does that mean, okay, so there's about a maybe 20% chance? Okay, well, and if you give me an opening, don't speak like that. The person also says she is extremely unlikely to run, but that she remains bothered that she's expected to close the door on it when, say, John Kerry isn't. Well, because all of humanity is petrified of you. That's why. She has told her team she is waiting to at least see the Mueller report. Do you believe that? And then after the Mueller report, there were like 5, 6, 7 stories. I can defeat Trump. I feel the urge to run. People are telling me to run. What more do you want? Yesterday, she engaged in a very nasty thing. Oh, you said we'd be number one. And then you have 400 pizzas to nurses in New York. Every day, the way they work it's pretty obvious. Public relations in this day and age is every day in the news, every day in the news, every day in the news, every day in the news. Every day in the news. Every day, just, in the news, just get your name in the news somehow. In the news somehow. And nobody has a bigger media apparatus. The difference between Trump, what Trump was able to do, was he was able to utilize negative coverage as a positive. What President Trump was able to do that nobody has ever done before. Nobody has ever done this before. President Trump was able to utilize negative media coverage to his advantage. Okay? Now, Clinton cannot do that. Democrats in general cannot do that. President Trump, Republicans in general can't do that. President Trump is a unique figure in American history. He's a unique politician. You cannot, most people, there are certain celebrities, maybe, like certain celebrities that have you can kind of say, okay, oh, he has a bad boy image or whatever, that they utilize negative publicity as a positive. President Trump has been able to utilize negative press because people understand at the end of the day, the press is against Trump. When they look at a story disparaging, demeaning, denigrating President Trump, they understand that there's an agenda. Even Democrats are like, okay, let's get him. This is more of a catharsis for Democrats. When you have journalists that literally worked with intelligence agencies, we know who they are, literally worked with intelligence agencies. And we have the IG report saying that the media was basically embedded. It's pretty one-sided. Todd Rubel! Well, Joe Biden latest This is the end of his campaign. This is the end of his campaign. This is the end, Todd. This is the absolute end of his campaign. Eric, I agree completely. Eric Barnes, I agree completely. So, Todd Rubel, thank you. Yeah, this is the end of Biden's campaign. Christian, hello. This is the end of Biden's campaign because every movement the Democrats touch, whether it's climate change or anything else, any serious movement, they run into the ground. Medicare for all. Democrats will never again talk about Medicare for all. Never again. They just see the way media plays it is, oh, well, Bernie Sanders has opened up dialogue. No. What Bernie Sanders did was he funneled, and he is going to funnel left-leaning votes back into the Democratic Party and then walk off into the sunset and maybe run again in 4 years along with Clinton. Okay? So they'll run until they're like 95. They don't care. And that's fine. But the Democratic Party doesn't really have... when they say believe, they really mean believe only if it's a political adversary. So if it's a Republican on the Supreme Court, believe. But if it's a Democrat running for the presidency, or, pretending to run, don't believe at all. So they deny... So Biden denied categorically, which is interesting because Democrats painted themselves into this this moral corner, or moral pretzel. They've stated repeatedly, believe. Then Biden campaign adamantly denies allegation. Adamantly. And then we encourage them to do so because these allegations are false. And reporters have an obligation to rigorously vet those claims. We encourage them to do so because these allegations are false. They are literally telling the press to tear down the claims of this individual. Wow. Could you imagine? Well, look. You need proof of any claim. You always need, there is something called proof and evidence. So you need proof and evidence. And most people who suffer from these horrendous allegations have proof and evidence. But look at the way the Biden campaign reacts, urging media. Look at how nefarious and nasty. They are the most duplicitous, insidious political people. Christian O'Brien! No malarkey, Joe uses negative IQ to his advantage. Christian O'Brien, yes, he really does. It's unbelievable watching this. Seeing Christian and everybody here, it's unbelievable watching this, seeing the disbelief. The Democrats, they're incredulous. They can't fathom that Biden's campaign is done. So look at Christian and everybody here. Look at their ability, the ability that society has given Democrats to not only deny a claim, but they asked media to tear down the allegations, the claims, the words of this individual. The Democrats demand that media do their dirty work. The Democrats demand that media tear down these allegations. Okay. I thought you weren't supposed to do that if you were a moral, righteous, lofty, liberal political party. They use this issue to their advantage. And when it wasn't to their advantage anymore, they then are literally asking media to tear apart the claims. Christian, thank you. Christian O'Brien, thank you. Victor Lugo! The Dems trying to pull one over on Mr. Art of the Deal by pushing funding to Kennedy Center slush. After signing the bill, he appoints John Voight and Huckabee to Board of Trustees. Check. Wow. I mean, I gotta look at that. Wow, Victor Lugo. Victor Lugo, wow. Okay. Oh my God. Wow, that's right. Trump appoints John Voight, Mike Huckabee to Kennedy Center board. Wow. Maybe one of these days, President Trump will get some kind of award there. That would be wonderful. I love how also, like, they've politicized the Oscars, they've politicized the Kennedy Center, they've politicized everything. Like, if it was Bush, you have Ellen and sitting next to Bush, the worst president of all time. Democrats are okay with George W. Bush, the person who ran on the marriage amendment and got us into never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. Never-ending. Wow, that's great. Victor Lugo, that is definitely a checkmate. Definitely a checkmate. Thank you, Victor. Wow. That is definitely a checkmate. This is, the interesting thing is that with a political machine, they're not going to end willingly. Okay? The Clintons are not going to give up their influence willingly. Nobody's walking into the sunset anytime soon. This has always been a repeat of 2016. I am the only person on the planet who saw this because people say, well, why would they want to do this again? Because they want to be president. Oh, I can't wait to be in the Oval Office again. I had so many good memories. Oh my goodness. That's right. When my wife is out and about, guess who's taking care of the Oval Office? That's right. Oh my goodness. Just like old times. Just like old times, everybody. Victor Lugo, thank you. Christian O'Brien. And I'll never forget George Costanza by John Voight's old LeBaron convertible. You know what? I'm more of a Curb Your Enthusiasm man. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. But you know what? Seinfeld over the years, you know what? I enjoy hearing others talk about Seinfeld than watching. Isn't that weird? I enjoy hearing others talk about Seinfeld than just watching Seinfeld, which is bizarre. But I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Victor Lugo, thank you. Christian O'Brien. George Costanza, oh my God. Agent Pepsi's on the profane tire. Is he really? Oh my God. Orange Grove 55. Exactly. What happened to believe exactly rhetoric? Orange Grove 55. These people are the most duplicitous, disingenuous, lying scoundrels. They're the most, it's unbelievable. They're the depths of their depravity, their treachery. We have we don't even, they went after a hot mic for Trump, which was not a deposition, a hot mic, which was not a deposition, which is the only thing they believe from President Trump, or they spin that also. He said this, and he admitted to this, and it was a hot mic. That wasn't a deposition. He didn't admit to anything. With Biden, Mr. Varhanson, HA, please play the Biden Lady Gaga video and laugh. I have to look that up. Mr. Varhanson, thank you. I have to look that up. With Biden, you with Democrats, you have people who, first of all, forget about it in terms of Hollywood. Anyone in Hollywood, anyone that is going to give you a lecture on morality, just tune it out in like a second. These are the most, you're talking about the most morally depraved people who crave fame. If you crave fame and influence, if your life revolves around attaining as much fame or political power and money as possible, you should not be listened to. Ever. You should never. Okay, Trump never. He's not driven by fame. He's not. They have President Trump all wrong. They look at his. They're like, oh, he has such a big ego. Well, he has a personality that you don't like. Having an ego is okay. But is he really a bully? He only goes after people that go after him. He fights back. He's a counterpuncher. He fights back. Okay. To Democrats, that means, oh my God, you're not letting us control the narrative, so you're a bully. But I mean, look at what. Not only did they say, you must believe. When it was politically expedient, they went oh my God, you must believe. Then when it's not politically expedient, they say, not only does Biden deny, but check out, this is the quote. We encourage reporters to, okay, so here, reporters have an obligation to rigorously vet those claims. We encourage them to do so because these accusations are false. Kate Bedingfield, deputy campaign manager. Really? That's really interesting. I thought that, what happened? Christian O'Brien. Bill Clinton asked, hey, what's a hot mic? Says, oh, I got my own electrical setup, so to speak. Christian O'Brien, thank you. I got my own microphone. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh goodness. This is unbelievable. Reporters have an obligation to rigorously vet those claims. We encourage them to do so. Wow. They are encouraging. I'm going to do a segment on this on H.A. Goodman's other channel. They are encouraging people to tear down and contradict and deny the claims of an individual made against Biden. The Biden campaign is done. They are done. This is now a hollow, fabricated attempt at just pretending. They are only pretending now. They are only pretending. There is no... They do not, in any way, shape, or form... Not in any way, shape, or form, ladies and gentlemen, have any intention of winning the presidency. Can you imagine Biden's, like, let's say he won the presidency, which would never happen in a million years, but let's say he won, he's like, how you like me now, everybody? Come on now. Come on, you know the deal, we won. We won with all my millions of different things I said that, were completely bizarre. And this, oh my goodness, we won, everybody. Can you imagine? Could you imagine? I mean, it's like, look, they're talking about Andrew Cuomo now. Why? Because this is the way the public relations spin works with Clinton. She wasn't going to, okay, so she didn't run. She's going to run eventually, meaning like run for president after she's nominated, or maybe even before. June 2nd, there's like 800 delegates. So this whole crisis could actually throw a wrench in whatever she was planning. And Madam Secretary could actually just run right before June 2nd. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm saying that's a possibility. At the nomination, at the Democratic convention, Hillary Clinton is going to be nominee. I will have made the biggest political prediction of all time. Nobody on the planet has said that. And Bannon has never said Clinton will be nominee. Bannon has said recently, she'll run. I was telling everybody she will be the nominee. It is a political machine. If Clinton isn't the nominee, then she will have engaged in the biggest blunder in the history of politics. In the history of politics. This is Clinton's Democratic Party. This is her year. Again, it's the centennial. And, I mean, who had a better chance of winning the presidency, Joe Biden or Bill de Blasio? You answer that. Who had a better chance? I love when they say, well, the math. Look at the math. There is no math. There's no math here. They have primaries in place where Democrats will not vote for Bernie Sanders. By and large, the Democrats will not vote for Bernie Sanders. He is popular to a point. He got crushed in recent states. He's popular to a point. And any notion of electability or pragmatism, they make sure that people don't view him in a pragmatic light because then they cheat him in Iowa. So it's like this elaborate process. It's little things here and there, and you cannot convince the media. You cannot convince it. Even the emails they had that showed that Debbie Wasserman Schultz cheated Bernie Sanders. Even the emails are not enough because people think that this is a fair primary. First of all, Bernie Sanders' campaign is a media creation now. He has zero crossover appeal to any other voter other than, a person on social media who retweets something to do with Medicare for all. And that, by the way, is appealing to a lot of Democrats, but at the end of the day, they'll vote for Clinton again. They will hold their nose like that. Look at all the wonderful expressions. Fall in line, hold their nose. This is like walking the plank. You might fall in line, hold their nose, take one for the team. This is the Democratic Party. They expect allegiance. They expect loyalty. And they cheat all the time. They manipulate. They take everything out of context with Trump. They get on their high horse when it has to do with anything to do. Any major issue. Any major issue, they turn into this morality crusade. And then when they're caught up in behavior that is the antithesis of what they claim to uphold, then what do? They ask the media. To go after the person. Victor Lugo! Hey, pal, meet the new boss. Not the same as the old boss. Victor Lugo! Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Thank you very, very much. Victor Lugo. Thank you. Victor Lugo. Thank you. It's really you look at how the Democratic Party how do they, Victor Lugo, thank you. How do they get away with it? How do they get away with it? Media used to, I have old DVDs of Nightline and Ted Koppel or Peter Jennings. You look at these old reporters from the 80s, even the early 90s, but the 70s, the 80s, Peter Jennings, Ted Koppel, who else? And Ted Koppel, tore CNN a new one, basically. And then, what's his name from CNN? I was like, no, that's not true. He's like, yeah, your ratings are basically revolve around Trump, which is true. Which is true. But you look at all the older newscasters, David Brinkley. Okay. I mean, Walter Cronkite before them, but you look at, I just named Ted Koppel, Peter Jennings, David Brinkley. Could you imagine David Brinkley with a Twitter account? Could you imagine? Could you imagine Walter Cronkite? Of CBS on social media, Peter Jennings, David Brinkley. Could you imagine this? Getting retweeted. So it's like, and they never had, they didn't make it their mission. Their mission was never to pontificate. They never preached or pontificated because their job was only the news. Their job was only the news. And so now you don't have that. Now what you have, ladies and gentlemen, is you have a whole bunch of activists who are on cable news. They're scorned. They did not want a certain outcome. They did not want Trump. So everything was hyperbole. Everything was nonsense. Everything was, full of superlatives, and everything was presented in the most hyperbolic manner. And Trump was going to end the world, and he was going to bring about a global recession, and the opposite took place. And now he's dealing with a crisis. He is. Alan Daniels, H.A. Strongman, looking forward to seeing you bench 300 pounds. Respect. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan Daniels. That's my next. That's my next strength level I have to reach. In addition to going to try for over 400 deadlift. So, thank you, Alan, very, very much. Thank you. But it's interesting because I'm doing like a lot of dumbbell workouts at home. And they really help the tendons and the ligaments out. Like when you just, because I think like the big issue with me just lifting 300 pounds is that it's not so much the muscle, it's the ligaments and the tendons. So Alan, thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, I did 315 pounds. Deadlift March 9th. I think it was like March 9th or March 6th. So I would say probably in about a year, less than a year, I can hopefully get to 400 plus pounds in deadlift. I appreciate that. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jeffrey Mill. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Greatly appreciated. But, I mean, you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they're literally asking media. Biden is literally asking media. They're literally asking media to tear down the claims. To tear down the claims of the of the person who made the allegations against Biden, to tear down the claims. They have no shame. The Biden campaign has no shame. They just have no shame at all. It's remarkable. It's really remarkable. So, I just, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that once Democrats lose again, when they lose again, I think that Twitter will become completely and utterly irrelevant. I really do, because you think about it. Where's the heart of Democratic politics? It's not in terms of policy, because you can't really name a policy that Biden wants. What's a grandiose policy? They don't talk about foreign policy. So foreign policy, President Trump is bringing home Americans. He just signed a deal to bring home and America's longest running military conflict. Victor Lugo! Remember Tim Russert? I love Tim Russert. Tim Russert asked Bush about, yes, Skull and Bones on Meet the Press. Love Tim Russert. Tim Russert, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Victor Lugo. Tim Russert has a great interview. I do remember that, Victor. I do. He has a great interview with Whitey Ford. Hold on. Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, and Phil Rizzuto. It is an amazing, just look it up on YouTube, okay? Victor, look it up on YouTube. It's Tim Russert with Baseball Legends, April 27, 2002. It is amazing. It is so awesome. It is so awesome. Tim Russert with Baseball Legends. It is so, he was great. Tim Russert was great. He was really great. He was one of those that he was just gave you the news, and he was just fantastic. My 18679, LA Fitness, Luciana Gwen Killer making a movie. Is that open, or is it still open? Oh my God, if that's still open, that'd be amazing. I think I can only tell you I can only tell you that at the my 18679 at the convention in July, Hillary Clinton will be nominee. At the convention in July, Clinton will be nominee. That's the only thing I can tell you. That's the only thing I can tell you. I don't know when Madam Secretary will enter. She's the only chance they have. She's the only chance they have. So, I think that right now, the Clinton people, my 18679, the Clinton people are just waiting. Victor Lugo, thank you again. My 18679, I think they're just waiting, and they're saying, well, enjoy Biden. Keep enjoying Biden. Keep enjoying Biden. No, we're going to give you some more Biden. She's biding her time. They're not going with Biden. Not only are they not going with Biden, he is there for the same purpose I wrote about in 2017. They had to pretend to have a fair primary. Because what are they going to do? Just say we're going to give this to Clinton? This whole thing is Tammany Hall all over again. It's a political machine. They are not going to waste hundreds of millions of dollars on somebody who thinks he's running for senator, who now wants the media to tear apart allegations against him. Biden is literally the antithesis of everything they claim to stand for. Clinton, in most ways, is the antithesis of everything they claim to stand for, but she's a woman on the centennial of the 19th Amendment. She's a woman on the centennial of the 19th Amendment. They don't care about winning, though. Well, Bernie can't win, but thank you for this stream. I'd like to place an order. Thank you for the stream. Thank you very much. I want to thank you so much. Oh my goodness. That's a great business. Thank you so much. Exactly, Julio, you. When Biden is creeping up the polls, it doesn't mean what you think. You know, Biden's campaign is done. I don't know what it'll take. I don't know what it'll take. Name is Ken. Following you for close to 5 years when you were far left. Thank you. Great answer. Ken, thank you so very much, Ken, for watching. My God. You watch this channel, Ken, when I used to have, well, I now have a button down, but I used to have a button down, and I used to, my name is A.J. Goodman. Hello, everyone. I just want to let you know that Hillary Clinton is losing swing states. Don't get upset with me, liberal compatriots, liberal comrades. I'm sure that you won't turn on me when I just simply give you the facts. Oh, what's that? More hit pieces on me. That's not very nice. Ken, you saw my much needed evolution. My God. Thank God, Ken, I'm no longer on the far left, and greatly appreciated for watching. Thank you for watching for so long, Ken. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Yes. CG3SSF. This is the MC Breed election. This is the MC Breed election. This is the ain't no future in your front. Oh my God, nothing. Ain't no future in your frontin'. That is exactly what Biden's campaign is about. That ain't no future. Thank you, Bono B039. Thank you. That is ain't no future in your frontin' is exactly the what Democrats are all about. All they do is pretend. That's all they do. That's all they do is pretend. All they do is pretend. They don't know anything else. They just literally don't know anything else. And the media gives them a free pass. People, look, Democratic voters generally are stuck in the 90s. It's always, at the end of the day, vote Democrat no matter what. No matter what, or stuck in the early 2000s or whatever. It's a mentality they have. You vote Democrat no matter what. No matter what, it doesn't matter. And they have these sensibilities. They vote, well, climate change is important. They don't care if their political party actually abides by their nonsense. See, they have what they think. They've taken advantages and turned them into disadvantages. Democrats have the media. Democrats have corrupt intelligence officials. Democrats have Hollywood. You would think with Hollywood media, corrupt intelligence officials, almost all the newspapers, almost all the cable stations, you would think you had such an advantage. Such a profound advantage, my God. And they've taken it and turned it into a weakness. They are so rabid and maniacal and petulant and malicious and full of venom. Oh my God, they were just full of venom. That now nobody trusts nobody trusts any of the. You can get Trump did this, and the average American will be like, oh, whatever. But I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I will say this. Hillary Clinton will become president if you don't go out to vote. If you don't go out to vote in November of 2020, okay, Clinton will become president. And it'll be the biggest political rebound of all time when you look at, because that's what they're looking at. They're looking at Ronald Reagan ran 3 times. Nixon, I believe, ran 3 times. So running 3 times for president is not that big of a deal. Reagan ran 3 times. So I know Reagan did. So, but they've taken what is generally an advantage. Exactly. Dems have no moral compass. Their moral compass is whatever they feel. But if you don't, whatever they feel is politically expedient. But if you don't vote, ladies and gentlemen, okay, if you don't vote, give you the November 3rd, 2020. If you do not vote for President Trump, Hillary Clinton will become president. When she loses again, she will run again in 2024. God bless her. Hillary Clinton, the only person I love less than, I love Trump, and the second person I love is Hillary Clinton, because everything about Clinton proves everything I've ever said about the left, the Democratic Party, American politics. So there's 2 people I love in this political sphere. Obviously, I'm voting for President Trump. I think he's one of the great presidents we'll ever have. One of the great presidents of all time when you look at what's taking place. Corrupt intelligence officials, reversing foreign policy. People don't look at him in aggregate. They look at oh my, well, you see this, that, and then they make up things. They just make things up. And they judge him by a standard, by a very interesting standard that if you judged any other politician or any other president, oh my God. But Clinton is going to be nominee, and she can actually win the presidency. I'm letting you know. You could have President Hillary Clinton. Because if you get into a false sense of security that Trump's going to win, he will lose. You need to understand. I was thinking about this the last couple of days, and I was thinking, the day after, the Democrats had their day after, oh my God, Trump is president. Imagine Clinton is president. She can win because she's the only person who gives them a chance. She almost won. Why would they deviate from somebody who almost won? Think about that. She'll never win. Well, that's what they said about President Trump. Nobody likes her. Well, they said nobody likes Trump. You have to understand that President Trump could possibly lose if you don't go out to vote on November 3rd. So you have to you cannot ever, because what's going to happen is there'll be a false sense of security. You'll have a false sense of security And when Clinton becomes nominee, there will be, oh my God, look at this, look at that, ha. And if you don't vote November 3rd, and if you don't get everyone you know who is not completely maniacal and rabid to vote Trump, then we will have a third Clinton presidency. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. It'll be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Thank you so very much. Biden is now using the media to tear down his accuser. Typical Democrat. They stand for nothing. November will be very wonderful, but you have to make it wonderful. You have to vote. The only way to keep Trump president, the only way is to vote. Give me your thoughts below to my super chat. God bless you. Thank you so very much. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And I just want to thank you. I know that you could be spending on other things in this crisis, and I just want to thank you if you support my voice. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Party, Biden is actually asking media to tear down. He's not just denying, that's one thing. He's asking media to tear down the claims. That should tell you something about the Democratic Party. Give me your thoughts below. I have a segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel in about 10 minutes. Check out and subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. People, I will be back at around 8 p.m. this evening. Thank you so much, everyone. By probably around 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless. I'll see you.